Right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
How are you? On the healthy orange juice.
Fanta, yeah, because I literally not long finished my dinner, which was a Chinese.
Oh, nice.
I was very afraid that it would not come in time, that I might end up actually eating it whilst on stream, which I didn't want to happen. I didn't want to be disrespectful to yourself and those watching. Hey, Danny. Hope you are great.
Yeah. Well, I've got some Doctor Who things to show off while your laptop boots. So yeah, I have no idea what this is. Hang on, let me make me solo.
I think I remember that. Yeah, Doctor Who Adventures. Yeah, I used to get the Doctor Who Adventures magazine as a kid. Like my whole bedroom was caked in posters from that. That I did not get. That was in around the time that I stopped going for them.
Yeah, I can imagine why. This rolling down the window. What else we got here? A couple of other things. We got a vortex spinner. I don't know if Tom Baker's in there, but
interesting.
I don't know if it's a game or something. But yeah, play the simple point scoring game with a friend right now. Well, we ain't got time for that. But finally, I got this.
I think I remember that. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know where I got that. I think my sister got them for me.
Yes, I remember this. I remember a version of it. I'm not sure if it's that exact version. That's bringing me back, man. That's stirring up some childhood memories.
Your childhood memories, bloody hell.
Yeah.
My childhood was
yeah, like I remember Christmas of 2006 walking into my sitting room and it being caked with Doctor Who. And I mean, like, I had the TARDIS wardrobe, the flight control TARDIS, not the flight control TARDIS, the actual TARDIS inside, which
nice.
It's actually up there and it's battered and bruised, kind of like myself after today. But you know, you love the old things that you still have from when you were a childhood. It's kind of like a given. You know, you have a lot of nostalgic memories. I sure as hell do. I used to, even in its battered state into like my teens, I still played with my Doctor Who figures, what I had at the time.
Well, why not?
Yeah. Even tried making my own stop motion animated Doctor Who stuff. We don't talk. I've done a video on that, but we don't talk about that because they are bad. Okay. I tried rewatching it and I forgot that I made the TARDIS sounds with my mouth, and I just could not. I could not get through it. I can't get through any of those old videos. I cringed too much, and I'm just like, no, thank you. They exist on YouTube. You can easily find them if someone wants to search only use the MP40, my very first channel. They're there in their crappy, shitty quality. They're there. Even Lego. I tried Lego.
You're going to get hundreds of views on those now. Hello, Real McLovin. How are you?
Hello.
Good evening, Pat Master. How are you? Who's this guy on the left? The other left. Hello. Again. So yeah, his cousin had some of the stuff I got. Here we go. Milton Sabotsky, here we come. I can sense the screams down the halls of Amicus evening. Yes, we are watching the Amicus produced Doctor Who and the Daleks from 1965.
Yeah, and I rewatched it Sunday for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, okay.
And I have some things to say. Some good things.
Okay.
But a lot of not nice things about whoever done the sound editing on that, or the sound engineer. I want to shoot them. I know they're probably lungs instead. I want to shoot them. It was that bad.
It's not good audio, is it?
No, it is not.
It's all dubbed and it doesn't look or sound right.
Yeah, I mean, like for for the time, it was grand. Like,
yeah, greetings, Professor. Yeah, they weren't expecting
Hello,
surround
Professor.
sound or decent
Yeah,
stereo in those days.
even 4K can't save it.
I don't
Even
think it's
4K
in
can't save it.
mono. It's PAL, English language. Doesn't even say if it's stereo.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was.
No, on my VHS anyway. Good evening, Bob. How are you? Good evening, Rob. Hey, hey, hey. Any people outside the UK know what Doctor Who is?
I'm sure some do. I mean, Matt Smith was pretty big in America.
Oh yeah,
at
I
the
guess
time.
modern one got over.
Yeah, but
Is this
classic,
what-
maybe not.
Let's have a look. This is the get out. Sorry, Doctor. I think it's
How
the,
much did you end up paying for that, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't remember. It was pounds. A few
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah. I mean, it looks good. Like, I like the artwork on the VHS.
Yeah. It's not bad, is it?
I mean, hey, at least you didn't accidentally pick up Forrest Gump without realizing it was in German, like I did.
It's quite rare then.
Yeah. Like, I
I've got
have
two
it.
of those.
Well, the hand. Where is it? Here it is. Let's see how quickly you can spot that it was German. Even me looking at it.
Tom Hanks ist Forrest Gump. Yeah. It's pretty much the spot on. If you just quick look, you'd say it's the original.
Yeah, that's the thing. I saw it in the window. I was like, oh, Forrest Gump on VHS. I'll have that. €2? Not a problem. Very rarely do I see VHS out in the wild. And I should have looked closely, otherwise I would not have picked it up.
So, Real McLovin probably have seen it, but no, don't know. It's been a while. Yes, well, I don't think I've seen it since childhood because I watched it yesterday, thinking I'd seen it, but I couldn't remember a damn thing about it. I know the sequel I've seen a few times.
Yeah, I remember seeing both. I think the first time I seen it was with my mother. And then the next time I seen it was I was up in my aunt's up north in 2007, and I got a phone call saying, hey, turn on, I think it was either BBC One or BBC Two, and they were showing it. It was either this one or Doctor Who and the Daleks. I can't remember. I have a very bad memory.
Yeah. Because what is it? Invasion...
Doctor Who and the Dalek Invasion of Earth 2150.
Yeah, that's the sequel, isn't it?
Yeah,
with only
which
two cartoons.
had Bernard Cribbins in it. Prior to his role as Wilfred Mott.
Yes, I guess so. Because I always knew him from like children's TV in the 80s, but I know he's turned up again. So here we go. There's a question for you, the expert.
You see, neither. They would work together. They have worked together in a comic, in a Star Trek Doctor Who crossover comic. But you see, it's I don't know. Like the Borg has. I think it would be the Cybermen, because the Cybermen don't rely on their organics, that much. I mean, the brain, yes, some skin tissue, maybe, whereas the Borg is, half organic, and they would require that more than the cybernetic. So, but if you're looking at like fleet wise, I definitely think the Borg trumps the Cybermen on that one. But longevity, Cybermen versus the Borg.
Okay. Right, if you're ready, is it loaded?
I will get it loading now.
Okay.
My laptop's slow, so just take a second.
The old school Doctor Who. Hang on, I need to play mine. There's no trailers. Doctor Who is everywhere there in was it Arizona? I started season 2 of Modern Who, and I ranted on the 10th Doctor. Too overrated. There you go.
Well, I need to check that out because I somewhat agree with you there, Danny. I know
There you go.
he's AJ's favorite. if memory serves correct. But yeah, for me, classic Who, Tom Baker, modern Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, I can see that. I didn't watch much of the newer ones, but yeah, Tom Hanks hasn't been great since The Burbs. Since he went serious, he's not been on a must-watch. Like if you got to watch Bachelor Party, Volunteers, The Burbs, and Dragnet in the 80s, they're all great fun.
Yeah.
But as soon as he did Big and it went a bit more serious, and then Philadelphia.
That's on my radar. I own it on DVD, and I kind of want to. I'll watch it eventually. You know, I recently, before I did my Dublin trip today, I calculated how many DVDs and Blu-rays I have. 681. I think it's like 64 of the Blu-rays I have are movies I haven't seen, and 146 DVD movies I haven't seen. So
Great.
I have a good ways to go, a good backlog to chip next year.
It's just something to do over Christmas, at least.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, he's got a rental copy. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, preset.
Yeah.
40-year-old version.
Yeah. So I'm ready to go.
Right. So if we play this, it's just at the. It's a. There we go. Yeah. Then we get to the psychedelic opening. Because it was 1965.
Yep.
Right, that's where I am. Regal Films. Although
I'm up to showing the cast.
Okay.
In terms of the
I'll catch up in a second because.
One thing I completely forgot about is the fact that in this version, Barbara is related to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a teacher. I completely forgot all about that.
Because she's dumped by the sequel. So is Roy Castle.
Oh, yeah.
Roberta Tovey is still kicking around. She goes to conventions.
Oh, nice.
She's in 2 films. Because none of these are canon to the show, are they? People try.
No. I mean, you never know. The Timeless Child did make the Mobius Doctors canon. So anything's possible depending on the showrunner. I mean, if they ever get Chips back in, God help the show if they do. If he ever comes to it. He's not going to, but if he ever does, God help him.
Karen Jack. Oh, I don't remember much about that one. By the way, I don't like Doctor Who. I'm here for when it goes off topic. It will go off topic. So yeah, Milton Subotsky, who wrote this, is based on, because he's Amicus, but it doesn't mention Amicus anywhere on this disc or in the film. So
yeah, the living room is very 60s.
It
is very, very 60s.
Or 80s grandparents.
Or 80s, yeah.
Oh, nice. I like Money Pit. I'm going to talk about Bob. Any nudity in this? Oh, see, he is reading Eaglemat comic, which I used to read. Peter Cushing.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think
the only comics I read is Power Rangers. So
you liar! You got more than that.
Yeah, I have. I got up in my Dublin trip. These are all the comics that I got that I did not expect to get, but you'll have to wait until Saturday to find that out.
There you go. So, is this because they call him Doctor Who in this, which was
because this is back when
he's Doctor Who.
Yeah, see, this is back before the Time Lords was a thing. This is back before it was potentially considered as someone from the future that has access to time travel.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Because I remember in the original pilot, Susan said that they were cut off from the world, that she was from the 51st century. Also, that reminds me, tomorrow is actually the show's 60th anniversary.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. I should put that in the title.
And then, of course, it comes back on Saturday, and I still have no way of watching it because damned BBC doesn't keeps forgetting we're not a part of the UK. And I'm not paying for stations just for one show. It's not worth the $200 a year for it.
No, it's not. I'm sure it's other ways to get it. Michael Myers is here. Greetings. Sorry, I only know 2 things about Doctor Who. Well, as well, Jack and shit, and Jack left town. Yes, the picture does look good on this Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think it's either the Blu-ray version or the 4K version. I'm looking at the one I have access to. Now, I will say I do like their version of the TARDIS, like the exterior. It does look better than the actual prop from the show.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
Of course, actually open properly for once. Pull outwards, not push them in.
Well, you can see in this HD version, it's empty inside because you can see through the windows to the other side.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting TARDIS design that they went for.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
I mean, comparing it to like the console rooms of the main show, there is no comparison. Like, I think, don't they change it in the next one? They make it more stylistic and sleek instead of random wires all over the place.
I should have watched the second one after this, but yesterday. But
I'll get around to Doctor and the Daleks 2150 at some point.
Yeah, that's the more action-packed one.
Yes. But what I will give credit for this movie is the fact that they take elements from An Unearthly Child.
Right.
And then they scrap the cavemen stuff and jump straight into the Daleks, which is what a lot of Doctor Who fans should do because, An Unearthly Child, the whole story, or as it apparently is referred to as the Tribe of Gum. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, but hey, but yeah, that's even in the novelization of the Daleks, they basically covered a bit of An Unearthly Child and went straight to Dalek.
Well, yes,
they knew it was the caveman stuff wasn't great. Like, no offense to Anthony Coburn, may he rest in peace. But it wasn't a great story. An Unearthly Child, episode 1, great, absolutely love it. The rest, however, does not hold up 60 years later. I mean, granted as well, now people can't legally get it unless they want to fork out 30, 40, 50 quid for the DVD. That's how much I've seen it go up.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's a very basic design inside, isn't it? With all those, that's just a push a lever, and then you end up somewhere on a breathable planet, by the look of it, with the same gravity.
What do you think of Peter Cushing as Doctor Who?
I don't mind him. I know it's. I see it something separate from all the other ones, just as a mad old scientist that's built a TARDIS himself, rather than all the back history of the other Doctor Who's.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the Hartnell-isms in him in certain scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Like when he interacts with Susan. And I love the fact that they kept up with the William Hartnell not being able to remember Ian Chesterton and calling him every other name but Ian Chesterton in the movie a few times. I did notice that on my rewatch, and I liked that. I do like the look of Scarrow here. Obviously, it got done better in Genesis. And that's one of the few praises I'll ever sing Genesis. 10 years later. But for like soundstage in this late 60s, middle 60s, it's not bad.
It's a lovely looking set. By Jingo. But yeah, what's Doctor Who's real name then? Or try spelling it. Or saying it. Let's hear you say it first.
Well, he's gone by many other names, like Dr. Disco, Dr. Mysterio, John Smith, Dr. John Smith, and Basil.
Basil Exposition. See. Michael Myers, his limited knowledge of this, he did know there's a phone box involved, yes. Back in the 60s, the police had their own phone boxes.
Yeah, I mean, I think Verity Lambert, the first producer of Doctor Who, and when they done the Adventure in Time and Space, mentioned that it was something to like kind of captivate audience, something from their time period that can whisk you away, type of thing.
Whisk you away to a quarry in Wales.
Yeah, that's their favorite filming location, or the beach. And the same beach that they use for Bad Wolf Bay, they always reuse it constantly.
Yes, Peter Cushing had a hell of a career, isn't he? Imperial Grand Moff, Vampire Hunter, and Monster Maker, and Time Lord, yes.
Yeah, well, you see, I definitely need to delve into more of Peter Cushing as an actor, because outside of these two movies, plus A New Hope, that's all I've really seen of him.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Hammer films, you got Amicus films, you got Biggles, which was one of his last big screen roles. But yeah, he is a very long career. But what's going on? Let's explore this planet. Apparently, Bill and Ted was changed from a time travel van to avoid similarities to Back to the Future, so they went with the time traveling phone box instead. That is true. That's what I've heard.
I still need to watch Bill and Ted in full. I've only seen bits and pieces.
Oh, well, there's 3 films
now. I know. Just take my film card. There's a lot of great movies that I haven't seen, and a lot of great movies that I have seen that I think are absolute garbage.
Well, we won't mention that you haven't seen First Blood or any of the Rambo films, so you're all right.
Well, I mean, I did pick it up today. Where is it?
The first film is totally different to the rest of the series.
I did pick it up on Blu-ray today, so I'll get around to it eventually.
It's a Christmas film. There was supposed to be a third one, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was supposed to be a third one, but the second one didn't make enough money, so they didn't bother.
And that tends to be the way, unfortunately.
I can't remember which story they were going to borrow from, but because this was based on what series was it?
Yeah. Series 1, the second story, the Dalek.
Yeah. And
then Dalek I can't remember if Dalek Invasion of Earth 2150 came before the series version of Doctor Who, Invasion of Daleks.
Who we talk about? Doctor Who, see? If I did like Doctor Who, my fave would be Christopher Eccleston.
And a fantastic choice.
But yes, unfortunately, one of those people that's very serious, isn't he? And only did it for one series.
Yes, unfortunately. He's a really great Doctor. I really loved it. I would have loved to see it. I'd love to see him come back, but I know Big Finish is the furthest he'll ever go unless they offer him like a boatload of money. Because he has been open about that. Like the only reason why he done Big Finish was the money.
He can open up his own theatre.
I mean, he looks really good as Scrooge. I seen a photo of that he's doing a play of A Christmas Carol.
I was going to say, I thought he'd be in the theatre.
Yeah, he looks really good as in the Scrooge makeup. I mean, it'll be no Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol because that's the best version of A Christmas Carol, not the Muppets one. The Muppets one was shit.
Now you can get off my channel.
Did you know they Doctor Who's actually lost the rights for the St. John ambulance sticker?
I did see the ambulance sticker. I thought I don't recognize that on the modern one.
No, you see, it was on the original prop for a bit. Then they took it off, and then they brought it back for Smith and Capaldi. And then they lost the rights to it recently. So whenever they release one of the classics or the 11th or 12th Doctor's TARDIS, they kind of have like a faded sticker type thing. So it's kind of there. So it's a legal gray area.
Legally enough to be not there.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I'm running out of chat. Oh, sorry. What would you do differently with Doctor Who?
Two things. One,
put a chicken in and make it gay.
I mean, they technically already did with Jodie. But I would make the Timeless Child uncanon, like decanonize it. It's too much of a headache. It's too much of a gray area without concrete knowledge of, like, does the Doctor have the set regenerations, or can the Doctor just regenerate infinitely? You know, and the second thing is undo what Russell did last week and say, moving forward, Davros is going to be an able-bodied person because people in wheelchairs can't be evil.
Yeah, apparently not. Unless, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Comparing this Dalek City, at this point, if it's going too woke, yes, take it off air.
Yeah.
Take it out back, cock your shotgun, and put it out of its misery.
If you can't have characters that are evil just because they're portrayed by a certain type of person.
You see, the thing is that the reason why Davros is in that wheelchair, is that's his life support. You can't just go, well, apparently you can go rectifying stuff that's 60 years old, that's been normal for the past 60 and 50 years and all of that, and you'll just get away with it. I mean, even in this month's Doctor Who Monthly magazine, he talked about how the different seismic shifts in the fandom and how we all, back then, they always accepted it no matter what. And how we should accept it moving forward. Me whole will I accept things I don't like.
Oh, there you go. What the hell have they done to Davros and the new diversity inclusion? Who Julian Bleach without the legendary mask of Davros? Piss and take spring to mind. Yeah.
I mean, I got a 10-minute rant video out of it. That's last time I checked, like nearly 300 views. So I'm happy enough with that. I'll take that to the bank. Thank you very much, YouTube.
Yeah, if you do check out Bill and Ted, don't do the third film.
That's the most recent one, yeah.
Yeah, they're not in it that much, and
yeah. I remember people being really excited for it, and then hearing nothing when it came out.
Yeah, they've been. Hey, Jay's here. Good evening, Jay and Michael. Oh, favorite companion. I must admit, 100% of, because I love the actresses that portray them. I love Amy Pond and Clara Oswald. Well, yes, Amy Pond's introduction is still on my mind.
Yeah, you're gonna hate me. I hate Clara. I absolutely despise Clara Oswald. She's not the worst companion. I mean, he done that where out of the 4 companions in his era, only Dan was likable out of them all. That's because he was a normal man.
I see him.
But I do agree with Amy. I'm Irish, so obviously I see Ginger Woman.
Marriage on the gun.
Yeah, like gingers and goths are my weakness, apparently.
I can see that. I would do the same. But yeah, Clara is all right to look at, but I've not heard at all.
I mean, if you like the baby face, but her character just got so annoying. And then she was going to leave in Series 8. She was going after the Series 8 finale. She was going to leave. Then Moffat convinced her to do the Christmas special. And then during filming the Christmas special, he convinced her to stay on for another season. For another season.
You won't like it. It's fun.
But my favorite companion, there's only really one answer. And if Ian over at Ian Hills the Rambling is here, he will 100% agree with me. It's got to be Sarah Jane Smith.
Which one's the old one? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Who was her doctor?
John Pertwee, Tom Baker, and technically Tennant as well. You know, she appeared in a few times for that.
See.
Why need to turn the light on?
Go on and turn it on. My eyes. Favorite Doctor Who is Peter David.
That's a very underrated choice. Not a lot of people would say Peter Davison is their favorite. I like him. You know, he's a very good Doctor. And it's just a shame that he was kind of like overshadowed because of Tom. Which, don't get me wrong, like I said, I love Tom Baker. I'm a Tom Baker stan till I die. But yeah, he kind of got the short end. Well, kind of got the short end of the stick. The real Doctor that got the short end of the stick was Colin Baker. Since they fired him, and he didn't even come back to film the Regeneration.
Yeah, and then was it the 5 Doctors he was in, or the 3 Doctors when he stuck in a vortex for the whole episode?
That's the first Doctor in the 3 Doctors. The only multi-Doctor story Colin Baker had was the 2 Doctors with Patrick Troughton, which spawned the Series 7B thing. I really dig the Dalek design, except for the constant blinking lights. That's the only inaccurate thing I have as a nitpick for the Daleks. Other than that, I love the Power Ranger Daleks. Billie Piper left in Series 2, came back for the 50th, and has teased that she would like to come back at some point. But then again, they always tease that they'd like to come back.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Billie Piper's still fit.
Because she wants to. I've only seen a couple of episodes. I didn't hate him. The others looked like bellends. Well, yes, fancy dress is part of the costume, isn't it?
Oh yeah, especially back in the day when there was no CGI.
Yeah, well, I like this bit with the some of the Daleks got plungers and some of them have got the hooks, and you think, how did they build this this building?
Which, to be honest, it's actually not a bad design, having not like multiple different clawed designs for the Daleks instead of it always just being the plunger.
Yes. Look at that. Her massive hair.
I mean, hopefully with Russell it will, but after what he said about Davros, I'm very skeptical.
Davros will kiss the Doctor. They will make him that way. It's only a matter of time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay, is this a joke? Oh, it's a genuine question. Oh, I guess, is it Whovians?
Oh yeah, Whovians, yeah. I mean, there's 2 Doctor Who songs.
Doctor Who.
That one.
Doctor Who.
And as soon as every time that one's mentioned, the bloody thing gets stuck in my head. And then there's also the charity song in order to save Doctor Who, which had a lot of the classic Doctors back trying to sing, and it is atrocious. Not as bad as the time they had the Children in Need crossover with Emmerdale or Coronation Street, whichever one it was.
Oh, shit. I missed that. Good evening, Horrorcat Dad. Rose. There you go.
Is overrated as a companion, in my honest opinion. She is the only time I like Rose is in series 1, and that's it. Like series 2 Rose is god awful, absolutely god awful. Like, but that's just season 2 as well. Like season 2 is a decent season. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of stinkers in season 2. Just going off of my memory from when I rewatched it at the beginning of this year. I mean, I've done reviews for all of Modern Doctor Who. Well, almost all of Modern Doctor Who. You know, next month I have the Christmas specials due out at some point.
I'm back.
Next month.
So yeah, the 60s and 70s assistants were just there for something for the dads, weren't they? Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Victoria kind of was.
Yeah, it's always in a bikini or something skimpy.
Yeah, Vicky and Victoria. That was their main designation. Look good for the dads and scream like a damsel in distress.
As it should be.
Kind of like 7 of 9, just without screaming in distress.
And then becoming something else in this new series and
yeah,
ticking a box. Whovians, there you go. He knows. Good evening, G-Man. We are watching Doctor Who. Peter Cushing is a pretty good one.
I mean, like, I like it, but dear God, the sound design, the sound is so god awful. I forgot how bad it was until I rewatched it on Sunday, and I was watching it on this phone, and I was playing it, the sound through a Bluetooth speaker. I just realized something. When they're moving, putting Susan out, one of the Daleks, a bit of it goes up. Like, I'll get a Dalek to fully demonstrate it. I have some on hand. So it was around this area that lifted up for a split second. Yeah.
Yeah, when they're shaking one later, you see him, the head wobbling like.
I mean, from what I've heard, you can barely the actors who are in the and moving the suits, they can't see nothing.
Apparently not. Guess they're just on like a shopping trolley, basically, aren't they?
Yeah.
Apparently, I think it's one stuntman was in the main Daleks that move a lot, and then when all the Daleks rush in at the end, they got dancers in them because they think that would be a good idea, but I guess it worked.
I mean, anything's better than the Timeless Child.
Hang on, where are we? I'm gonna miss something. My nephew loves Doctor Who. He has ACAD. He does cosplay all the time. I get fed up. Probably why I don't like it. Yeah, if it's thrown in your face, bring back Baker and Doctor will be fine. Yes.
I mean, the man's 90.
I was going to say, how old is he? I thought 80s, but yeah, like you say, he was old in the 70s.
Yeah, he turned 90 this year. He done something for the Radio Times that came out today, an interview. And they showed a new photo because, we never really get to see much photos of Tom. And bless him, he's so old and feeble, and you just want to wrap him up. He looks cold as well. But it'll be a sad day when he goes. Touch wood that it doesn't happen anytime soon.
Yeah. Tiresome nephews. Thoughts on Doctor Who, the movie from the 90s, the one with Eric Roberts? Well, if it's Eric Roberts, it's a class film.
I love it. I love I love Paul McGann. He's my third favorite Doctor, and he killed it in that movie. He killed it when they brought him back to shoot his regeneration scene. He killed it in Big Finish. I haven't listened to much of him in Big Finish, but I have heard snippets, and he sounds really, really good. But I just struggle getting into Big Finish. Well, I know a lot of the Big Finish is actually on Spotify for free. So.
Yeah, I remember that coming out. Bloody hell. It was all a big event, and then it was just a
I
one-off.
remember watching it when I was 8 and instantly fell in love with it. I mean, the interior of the TARDIS for that movie, the gothic feel to it, is my all-time favorite. It's my all-time favorite interior. It's so massive and roomy, and I just love the gothic appeal to it.
Yeah, this guy I thought was a monster, but they're just keeping his head out of shot, so it's just his cape that's floating around. I thought it was just a low-budget monster. But
this is the fall.
Keep it clean, Michael. Rose is so gorgeous. Where are you with the Doctor? Oh, why are you with the Doctor? Yeah. Well, Ninth Doctor is my favorite. Who's that?
That would be Christopher Eccleston.
Okay.
Technically, it is. He's the one who played the Ninth Doctor.
Well, yes, I guess.
But with the War Doctor, that kind of throws it for a loop. But yeah, no, he is the Ninth Doctor.
It's getting complicated.
Technically, the 10th. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
So yeah, they get these weirdos like from a glam rock group turning up.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to work out because apparently they said this is a planet and it had 2 civilizations, and then suddenly they went to civil war. Then they nuked the planet.
War. So Terry Nation did expand this when it came to Genesis of the Daleks. When Tom Baker arrived to Skaro in the past, it was said that they were fighting for 1,000 years, and it was so bad that they started off with futuristic weapons, and it ended being the old flintlock stuff.
Okay.
That's how long it's been going on. And then it ends, with a lot of the Khalids either being killed or turned into Daleks, and then the Thals just not having a home.
Right. So yeah, because there's not much trivia about this, and the only bit was that the little girl, what did I say her name was? Rosetta Tovey, or Roberta Tovey. The director gave her 5 shillings each time she did a scene in one take. So apparently he made a lot. She made a lot of money, and he didn't do it for the sequel. Yeah, I can't keep track of how many Doctors there are, so that's why I have an expert.
Well, apparently with the Timeless Child, there's an infinite number of Doctors that are running around, don't you know?
Yeah.
Fucking Chris Chibnall. Ruins everything he touches.
Fort Boyard. Who was on Fort Boyard? Do you remember that show? That was Melinda Messenger, wasn't it? Some weird game show on ITV. I don't know who was on that. Was Of all the Doctors Who lady, I keep reading it wrong. Doctor Who lady assistants. Which one would you take on a McDonald's date? All of them except Catherine Tate. She can get done in by the Daleks, as far as I'm
concerned. Who would I pick? Well, I'm going to pick from the ones that are alive, because I'm not going to a McDonald's and cracking out the Ouija board. I've seen horror films. You don't play with a Ouija board. You leave it alone, and that's how you avoid ending up in a horror film. I think it would either be it would be Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
Either Karen Gillan or her cousin, because she's nearly the same. I think she's either a year or two younger than me now, or a year or two older than me. I can't remember. And she does I've seen like an updated photo of her. she does look exactly like a young Karen Gillan at that point. So, have the original model or trade her in for the cousin.
Turning into a what's his name from Titanic? Ditching women when they're 25.
Ah, yes, Caprio.
DiCaprio, yes. Billy Piper has some look of someone who thinks that's an acceptable first date. Well, her music career didn't take off, so she went to Doctor Who, didn't it?
I wonder what the lava lamps are for. Like, I know it's set decoration and to kind of make it look good.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, I thought, oh, wow, how nice. But apparently, yeah, they were brand new back then. They were only a year or 2 years old, so no one had really seen any. So they thought, oh, that looks scientific.
Yeah, I've never owned a lava lamp, but my cousin did.
Yeah, they take a while to warm up because otherwise they're just a blob of hard wax at the bottom.
Yeah.
What's all this chat about the BBC bringing back Paul McGann again? I liked McGann as the Doctor, but the TV movie left a lot to be desired with its wafer-thin storyline and Eric Roberts as the Master. There you go.
Well, it was the Radio Times that said it. The same with the unit story, but it hasn't been officially confirmed by the BBC. So I'm taking that with the grainiest of salts until the BBC actually confirm it. You never know; they could confirm it tomorrow, since tomorrow's the 60th.
Well, yes, they might have some news tomorrow, might they?
Yeah, you never know.
Football, oh dear, what a terrible niece. And yeah, no, she's not a lesbian yet. She's 7, so she already knows what gender she is or what she wants to be. Make Captain Picard the next Doctor. He's about 90 as well, isn't
he? Yeah, they'd have to get he's in his 80s as well, so they'd have to do what they did for episode 2 of Picard, where they had a stand-in running, and you could easily tell that wasn't Sir Patrick Stewart. It was so off-putting to me.
Gonna have some Dalek chat, but yeah, apparently, well, the only issue there that, yeah, like you said, the lights are supposed to flash when they talk, but obviously, there's many times in this film they go off on random, which I think they had because they weren't aware of what was going on. Apparently, allegedly, right? Dirty Dan and his tigers got in the gold, and Melinda Messenger plur. Yes, that's going back about 20, 25 years, isn't it? How rubbish they are. There was that big joke of how they couldn't get upstairs, and then what was it in the Sylvester McCoy ones where they got jetpacks?
They did, yeah. I remember
that first episode on TV. Everyone was quite shocked.
Yeah, it was a funny cliffhanger because McCoy was all smug, like, "Ha ha, you can't get me because you can't go upstairs." And then they started going up the stairs, like, "Oh no, I made a mistake. Please get me out of here."
And then cut to the next episode when he's obviously bashed it in. I don't know. They had normal sized people in them, just crouched up.
Yeah, it was very, very cramped.
Because they are quite big. The Daleks are not ribbed for your pleasure. They have fire extinguishers they used in this. They were supposed to shoot fire, but that was a bit too dangerous, so they just used fire extinguishers.
I mean, it's similar to how it was in the original story. It was the kind of fire extinguisher effect that they used, and back in that story, it was once to paralyze you, twice to kill you.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because Royd Castle gets a jammy leg. Because I guess, do you know who Roy Castle is from the 80s stuff?
It rings a bell.
He was I forgot the name of it. It was the Guinness Book of Records show where Record Breakers. He was hosted that, so that's where I know him from. He had about a good few years on doing that show where they had the largest amount of school kids eating soup in a canteen or something stupid like that every time. So yeah, how many? There's 3 McGann brothers, as far as I remember. There's what's it? The one that did the upper hand. There's the one that's in Doctor Who, and then was a third one, I think, who was in. Was he the one? I can't remember if he was in. He was the same one. It was in Harry Enfield's show, but I can't remember now. It was one of the Scousers. Wouldn't do Mackie D's. Would treat her to a Burger King. Oh, someone's flush.
Sure, it'd be better off bringing them to KFC. At least that's more tasty.
Yeah, Burger King's too dry. Building a TARDIS in your bedroom, but where would you put the bed? Just in it.
Just put it in the hammock.
Yeah.
Job sorted.
Here we go. The little girl will get it. And that's good how they got human food. So what is in the Dalek? Because I know we don't see it. We see a hand, a webbed hand.
See a hand. I'll have to rewatch the original Dalek episode. But I think this was like the first time we ever seen a Dalek mutant until Genesis. Again, I'm vague on that front. I think it was this and then Genesis. But it's been a decade since I've seen the Doctor Who and the Dalek.
I still remember an episode where one alien thing comes out and flops on the floor and dies. And
that reminds me, actually. Yeah, tomorrow, what Doctor Who is doing for the 60th is they're showing Doctor Who and the Dalek, the William Hartnell one, in full color, edited down to 95 minutes instead of the 7-part serial. And then they're also putting it out on Blu-ray for people to buy.
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah.
That's good. What's the Dalek with the gigantic bulbous on its head, Malcolm? I can't remember, Michael. I can't remember if it's an Imperial Dalek or an Emperor Dalek. Help.
Let's see. The giant bulbous head. Give me a second.
Yeah, I only know these ones in Davros.
It's only ever appeared in animation and the comics. If I'm thinking it's the one Dr. Impossible is asking, and it's a good thing I have the Doctor Who Monthly magazine here on hand, because there's a comic strip with it. So I'm going to try and... Can you see that?
I've only got word search. Oh, yeah, there it is. I see him.
Yeah, so I think that's the one he's on about. I think that's an Emperor Dalek or something like that. That's only ever appeared in comics and in an animated Dalek story that they've done for the Time Lord Victorious. That's on YouTube.
Something else that doesn't make sense. They seem to be in this one. They work like bumper cars where they have to be on a metal track to work.
It was only this movie. I don't think that it was like that in the original.
There was anywhere else that did this as well.
Yeah. Again, I'll have to like rewatch it to fully remember.
That's to say. If you could pick between a TARDIS, a phone booth, or a DeLorean, which would you pick for time travel?
DeLorean, because at least you'll actually get to where you're going.
I guess the TARDIS is the one that controlled it, isn't it? Usually,
the TARDIS is often said. Even the TARDIS said in the Series 6 episode, the Doctor's wife, when the Doctor's like, you never took me where I wanted to go. And TARDIS responds, no, but I always took you where you needed to go.
Now, just for the idiots.
It's the only story Neil Gaiman has ever wrote for Doctor Who. Would love to see him as a showrunner, but he was busy.
It'd be too serious and scary, probably. What does TARDIS stand for in the for the idiots in the chat?
Time and relative dimensions in space.
Yes, yeah, I knew that. It is mentioned in this at the beginning, but
yeah.
I think I just realised I was halfway through and I didn't have the subtitles on.
Unfortunately, I can't have the subtitles on.
We're not missing anything. There's not much talking in it.
No.
What if the Cybermen returned?
If the Cybermen were turned into the... I think that's what happened in the comic. Either the Cybermen were turned into the Borg and joined the Borg Collective, or vice versa. I can't remember which. I never read it. You know, this stuff came out in like 2012, 2013, 2014. IDW, I think, done it.
Okay. Does the TARDIS have Wi-Fi?
Yes. And stay out of the Doctor's browser history.
Well, I don't think this TARDIS does because
it's 60s and all that.
It's got like Velcro holding it together, but I think he invented Wi-Fi, so Michael Myers would rather use the spaceship Van Damme used in Time Cop.
Never seen Time Cop. Never seen it. Again, here's my movie fan card. Take it. I don't need it.
Oh, hang on. Nicola Bryant, what's she look like?
She was Perry, the 5th and 6th Doctor companion. The one the 6th Doctor choked out in his very first story.
Choked her out.
Yeah, literally choked her. And she was also brought in for the eye candy. Yep,
she's right. Good call, Bob. Victor Lewis Smith had the right idea. The gay Daleks and the Doctor's trusted time vessel, the TARDIS. Victor had a way with making me laugh in Channel 4. See, I remember the TARDIS, but I don't remember the rest of it. There's been plenty of spoofs, though. Roy fucking Castle's coming on. Is that another bottom joke? Oh, shit. There's always one. But he's being pleasant. Nerd guest. How dare you, sir? Just because he's a Star Trek Whovian.
Yeah, not just Star Trek Whovian, but I am the king of Star Trek knowledge, as proven several months ago when I went up against AJ and Big Steve for movie chats.
AJ wasn't a competition, but yeah, Big Steve was.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, I didn't even know Sonic sunglasses were a thing.
Yep, Sonic's sunglasses was a thing for Series 9 of Doctor Who. Before they gave Capaldi his own version. My favorite screwdriver would have to be, and I can grab it because I actually own it.
I got mine here. I'm not sure if it's got a light or not, but it might do. It's a key ring, otherwise there's not much use.
My favorite screwdriver is the Doctor's screwdriver.
That looks... I recognize that one.
3 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Hold on.
Nope. We got a burnt out.
Nope.
A very dangerous lift, this thing. It's got no doors, and you could get easily cut in half. Hey, there we go. If you were turned into a Cyberman or Dalek and you knew about it, how would you deal with it?
Well, one of two ways, apparently, because this has been addressed in the show.
Okay.
The Cybermen have their emotion chip put in to dampen all emotions. So if that was disabled, my head would explode. That's what happened in when the Cybermen was brought back in Series 2 of the show. When the emotion chip was deactivated, they all went kaboom.
Oh.
Unless you were Ivana Hartman from Torchwood, who for some reason got the upgrade and was able to keep being herself And as well, the Brigadier kind of in Death Water and Death in Heaven, or Dark Water, Death in Heaven. Dalek. I mean, just look at what happened to one of Clara's variants in Asylum of the Daleks. She tried to kill the Doctor after after he made her realize that she was a Dalek, and that's why he can't come and get her. Well, so probably that would happen for me as well.
Okay. Probably the only thing I know about Simon is an episode where they get shot with gold coins.
Yeah, that was one of their old weaknesses. Apparently now they've upgraded from that.
Of course they have.
Yeah, gold don't affect them.
Oh, here come the hippies, bringing food and thinking it's going to be a party with the Daleks.
Yeah. I remember that being like a part of the original plot of the Doctor Who and the Doctor Who the Dalek serial, where the Daleks are trying to lure the Thals in with a sense of food to kill them. So that is pretty accurate. I suppose that when it came to writing this, again, I'm just making assumptions here. They had access. They managed to get access to that script from Terry Nation. Obviously, they would have to, because the Daleks are owned by the Terry Nation estate. So they'd have to go to Terry Nation for them. That's why there was a point when the show was brought back in 2005 that it was up in the air whether or not they're going to buy the rights for that. I mean, that's why Steph Coben, Anthony Coben's son, is holding an unearthly child ransom. Is because back in the day when writers wrote an episode of television, they got the rights to that. They kept the rights.
Oh, okay.
So if someone ever wanted to reuse it or reuse the character, they'd have to pay royalties.
Yeah, nice. Well, it's good for the writers, unless they hold it ransom, like you say. But why are the Daleks different colours? What do they mean?
In this, nothing.
I thought so. Just for variations.
Yeah, it's just to make it look colorful. I mean, like that's mostly stuff in the 60s was done in black and white, except for movies. Some movies were done in color. So it's just to show that off, I suppose.
Why are they empty baskets?
Sorry?
They just dropped all the baskets to run away, and they're all empty. So
because the Daleks promised them food.
I was going to say, I thought they were bringing food.
Yeah. No, they were looking for food because their harvest had failed.
I guess that means an impression of your favorite character.
No.
I'm stuck in the bloody vortex again. That's mine. Exterminate. That's a favorite of everyone's.
Like I said, if you want to see me do impressions, just try and find my old YouTube channel that has a lot of my old stuff.
Yeah, he can.
Or watch my video. Yeah, or watch my video that I've done a while ago. It's in my Doctor Who and more reviews and more playlist, where I actually tried to react to them. Did not go well. I could not sit through a single one of them.
Right. Which one's Jenny Linden?
I don't know.
I think there's only one woman, isn't there? Or is it one of the hipster beatniks?
Yeah, there's two. There's multiple women. So
now there were several times I'm watching this because I'd never seen it before, as far as I could tell. Oh yeah, she is pretty. Massive hair in this though. It looked like these people were going to be secret bad guys, but then it never came to anything. But there we go. How come Captain Jack has got a bigger sonic gun than the Doctor did?
Easy. Jack the time traveler, and then the Doctor blew up the place that made the sonic guns and replaced it with a banana field.
Okay. I've seen plenty of ladies naked. with or without their permission.
I mean, I've definitely seen a few in my time.
Jay seen a good woman naked. He looked in the mirror. Right. What's your favorite TARDIS design? It's not this one, because this one's a fucking mess.
If we're talking exterior separate to interior, my answers are different. We're talking TARDIS exterior, which is the police box by itself. The Fourth Doctor. That would be my favorite exterior. My favorite interior is the TV movie, the Paul McGann TV movie.
None of the new ones, then.
I mean, Capaldi's one wasn't bad. And from the little leaks that I've seen of Shooty's TARDIS, it's going to be bigger than Capaldi's and Smith's, and it's all white.
Okay.
No symbolism there at all.
No, do the Sonic sunglasses come with X-ray vision? I'd be disappointed if they didn't.
Let's see, it's never mentioned.
So it probably is.
But knowing the Doctor and his regards of keeping his browser history secret, probably.
Yeah, there's no history on those.
I mean, the original plan with Missy and the 12th Doctor that Stephen Moffat wanted to do was in World Enough in Time and the Doctor Falls, Missy was going to say, "I'm pregnant." And that would have been a whole lot weirder if we stuck with the original plan for the Master, which was before Roger Delgado passed away in the car accident. The original plan was to have the Master be the Doctor's brother.
Yeah.
So if they kept with that, and Stephen kept with that, having Missy be pregnant by the Doctor, Sweet Home Alabama.
He had web feet. The Daleks look like those robot waiters they now have in restaurants that carry birthday cakes around. That sounds interesting. I've never been to one of these. What's that? Evil British robots? What? Maybe Paulie's robot in Rocky 4. They're like that. Yeah, of course Bob's asking, can you see through clothes with those glasses? It's probably like Superman in Smallville, where you just see veins and bones and stuff rather than naked bodies. In the middle Dalek, in the background image, is the middle Dalek in the diverse one? Is it the
red one?
Oh, oh, the black one. Oh, which one? There's four of them. How is there a middle?
Or it could be one of the blue ones.
Oh, yes.
No, you never know.
Can't have blue or pink ones. Don't get me started on Torchwood's Children of Earth.
Yeah, Danny's not a fan of that. He doesn't like Jack's character in it.
I never watched Torchwood.
You should. It's not bad. I mean, if you can get past the sex gas episode of episode 2 and the Cyberwoman in a metal bikini, you'll be grand. You'll have a ball.
Oh no! It sounds right up my alley now.
Yeah.
Metal bikinis. Oh, Capaldi was the last Doctor for me. I did like Capaldi and Tom Baker, but Baker played Grigori Rasputin in the film Nicholas and Alexandria back in 1971. See, I only know Tom Baker, apart from Doctor Who, for obviously some comedy shows in the 90s and one of the stop motion Harryhausen films. What's it? Sinbad films.
I know he also done the voiceover for Little Britain.
Oh, of course he did, yes.
Yeah. And he done the voice over for the remake of Medieval on PSP. The only time he's ever done that. And then he was also the Babadook in Star Wars Rebels.
Ah, okay. Now, what's the difference between Torchwood and Doctor Who?
Doctor Who's for children. Torchwood is all about sex, drugs, and violence.
I did, yeah, now that's ringing a bell now. Yeah, I remember it being more adult. I think it was just swearing. Wasn't it?
The first 5 episodes is them trying really hard to differentiate it from Doctor Who, that it's not a kid's show. Like I said, episode 2 has a sex gas that thrives on men finishing to feed itself.
Genius.
Then episode 4, which was funny enough, the Cyberwoman episode with the metal bikini thing. Guess who wrote that episode?
Me?
Chris Chibnall.
Why does that sound familiar?
Because he's the one who was the showrunner for the Jodie Whittaker era.
Ah, oh dear.
He done a lot for Torchwood up until Children of Earth and Miracle Day.
Right. Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, they do that.
Hang on, isn't Captain Jack turned into that face thing? The stretched
The face of Bo. Yeah. Allegedly. I mean, that's just what it's been said. You know, he says that, you know, he lived on the Beauchamp Peninsula in the 51st century. And when he signed up to the time agency, he was the first one to do it. And so they called him the face of Bo.
Okay.
So that's how the face of Bo in Gridlock, season 3, episode 3, knew that to say to the Doctor in the correct time that you are not alone, aka the anagram for Yana, Professor Yana, for Utopia.
It's getting complicated now.
It can be.
Yeah, and then they're finding somehow they didn't know even though they live on this planet, they didn't know about these monsters in the lake or the pipes in the lake that.
Yeah, you see, it is mentioned that there was mutants around, because even in Genesis of the Daleks, you do see the mutants, kind of. Like it's 70s Doctor Who. There's not much makeup or practical effects that can be done to like make it look like they're mutants, other than the heavy baggy clothes and shoes that they wore and just the basic makeup that they could do on the face to make it look like they're mutants.
There's 2 series of the old one I remember specifically. There's one where it looks like there's people crawling on the ground with a blanket on them that's got light up balls on it.
All right.
And then the other one is like there's a very small person as the devil.
I
would know. To make me hide behind the couch.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I've seen those.
I think
there's a lot of classic Doctor Who that I don't remember. I was actually, the way I got introduced to classic Who, I think was Tom Baker in like his early run. Like when during his first season, I didn't see Robot. I seen a bit of Ark in Space. I didn't see the Sontaran one. I seen a bit of the Cybermen one, and I seen the Hand of Fear, which was Sarah Jane Smith's last one, and I seen all or bits of the Pyramids of Mars, and the Deadly Assassin, and then I seen all of Logopolis and the Caves of Androzani for Peter Davison, and Earthshock from Peter Davison.
I can't remember. I keep trying to start from the beginning, but then there's so many episodes to get through.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be doing a lot of reviews for classic Doctor Who next year now that I've done the modern show, except for reviewing every episode when they come out now. Assuming I can find a way to actually watch the show on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, I remember Patrick Thornton's era, the end of that. and then I went into Pertwee and Tom Baker, and then of course Colin and Davidson, and then Peter Davidson, and then Sylvester McCoy. How many series did Sylvester McCoy have?
I think he had 3.
Yeah, I remember that ending.
Yeah, I think it was 3 because I know Colin only had 2, technically 3, but that's only because they took a year off in 1983, which was when the Celestial Toymaker was going to make his return during that cancelled season. And then they just went ahead with Trial of a Time Lord and recast them and fired him after that.
Nice. But yeah, Torchwood should have gone on longer. Oh, you got a new fan, Professor Macabro.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I think the link's in the description. The Torchwood episode was pretty sharp. Was the horror show set in a dilapidated row of Welsh properties called Countryside? Never forgotten it. Gore was off the charts, and actor Owen Teale was nasty.
You see, I watched that for the very first time this year when I done a full watch through of Torchwood, because I'd only seen bits and pieces of season 1 and season 2. And then last year I watched Children of Earth and Miracle Day for the first time. And you see, I knew of Countryside. I heard of it. I watched it, expecting to really enjoy it. And Dr. Impossible is not going to like me yet again for saying Countryside's overrated. It's a good story, but overrated. I expect the death threats immediately.
Yeah, I can't give you an opinion on that one, so you're safe. What actors would you have as the Doctor? Not the 14th one, though.
Okay, I was actually thinking about this the other day. 2 that comes to mind. One is Eddie Redmayne. He would do really good.
He can do Bizarre.
He can do Bizarre. I mean, he played Stephen Hawking. He played shy and awkward in the Fantastic Beasts film series that's never going to continue on anymore. And I think he would make a good Doctor. The other person I was thinking of, I know the actor's first name is Matthew. He was in Horrible Histories. He had the big chin. His last name begins with a B. I can't remember it. But I think he would do good as like an unknown, unknown to play the Doctor, because he's only ever really been like secondary character in a lot of shows. Like he has a decent enough fan base thanks to Horrible Histories, like the rest of the gang from that show. But it would be a really good unknown casting as the Doctor, and I definitely think he would do pretty well as the Doctor, in my opinion.
I'm going to say Henry Cavill. He's up for everything.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's a fan of everything. He's a massive Warhammer fan. He criticizes people if they use Wikipedia as a source. He's your everyman.
He could play
he's free. He's kind of free at the moment to do it.
Yeah, he's not much. Oh, what's he doing? What's that other one he's doing? Is it Warhammer he's doing now? Or
yeah, from what I've heard, he is doing the Warhammer one, but I don't know how far that's gotten because of the strikes.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what you're. I don't see colors either, Michael. My ears. But it's a Native American Dalek anyway. Bring back the K9 show. Yeah, I grew up with K9, but it's my favorite character.
But see, Danny, which one? There was 2. There was the failed K9 and Company series from the 80s that only had one episode. That did have Liz Slayton.
Yes, I remember.
And I tried watching it, and it is god awful. And then there was the Australian Canine show, where they had the original design for a little bit, and then that went kaboom, and then he came back with a different design.
Because I think the guy that did the voice is coming to Western Supermare Comic Con this month.
Oh, I'm happy to hear he's still alive.
I think it is. That's what he's advertised at, but I don't know if there's more than one guy that's done it.
Yeah. This is the redesign for the Australian Canine.
Keep it still. Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. There's a reason why it only lasted for several episodes.
That's awful.
And has absolutely nothing to do with Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just something that an Australian channel picked up and tried to do.
Right, where am I? Oh, it was Tom Baker that was on the Fort Boyard show. There we go. He read the riddles out that nobody ever got. Yeah, I probably only watched one episode of that because I think Melinda kept a top on. So what's the point watching it? Thoughts on Class? The other Who spin? I didn't even know. What's this Class thing?
It was doomed to fail because it was online only. Prior to big streaming stuff. Like streaming was around, but you could only get it on BBC iPlayer, and BBC iPlayer can only be accessed in the UK and Northern Ireland. So that killed it. Plus, it wasn't all that good. I've only seen one episode, and I still have yet to actually add it into my collection.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to pay me to add it into my collection.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
They tried setting something up with the Weeping Angels, and it was set in the school, Coal Hill School, and the 12th Doctor makes an appearance in the first episode, and that's that.
I still, on this bit in the film, I still don't understand. They're using the mirrors to shine light back at the sensors, which just alerts the Daleks that they're there, which they can just walk past the sensors and do it anyway.
Yeah, it's one of the weirder scenes in the film.
It's an over 18, extremely graphic. I think I only saw the first episode, and apart from some swearing, that's all I remember.
I loved it. You know, I've seen it in full now. Season 1 is all right. It has a lot of misses in terms of episodes. Series 2 is great. That's when it fully found its footing. It kind of found its footing in the last few episodes of season 1, and then it got really ramped up when they brought Jason Matterson, the actor who plays Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, James Marston.
Yeah. He comes in as Captain John Harriman.
Okay.
Another time agent, and he's kind of like the villain of the series. Though he only really has one full episode, 2 full episodes, and a kind of hologram appearance in another. One of the best episodes to come from Torchwood is I think the episode was called Fragment. It's the episode before the series finale, and it basically showed how everyone else, bar Gwen, joined Torchwood, because we already knew how Gwen joined Torchwood because we follow her throughout the entire series. So we see how Tosh joins. We see how Jack ends up joining Yanto and Owen. And Owen has the worst backstory. Not in terms of bad backstory, but the stuff he went through. It's no wonder he became a womanizer.
Yes, I think Torchwood is like it's the Baywatch Nights to Baywatch, as Torchwood is to Doctor Who. But
Yeah.
I think there's probably more swearing in TNA. Is there any TNA in Torchwood,
Um,
or is it just gore?
there's gore, a lot of making out, a lot of kissing.
Okay.
Like you don't see anything. It's mainly just kissing, and then it cuts to them finishing their coitus.
There you go. Favorite master version. I like Eric Roberts and Missy.
Right. I'm going to give you my classic Doctor Who pick and modern Doctor Who pick. Classic,
Okay.
I have to give it to the original. Roger Delgado is his mannerisms, how he handled himself, should be could brought back moving forward. He was cool, calm, collected, and calculating. Very, very calculating. That is why I always refer to John Pertwee as the James Bond of Doctor Who, with how he deals with stuff. And then one of my favorite scenes is when the Master rings up John Pertwee's doctor, and he's like, "Oh, I just thought I should let you know that I'm alive." And John Pertwee just responds with, "Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that." As for my favorite modern Master out of the three that we've had, it is Missy, then John Sims, and Sasha Dewan's Master. Just it doesn't even cut it.
Okay. Hang on. A female gender swap master? What's going on?
Oh, Michelle Gomez was fantastic as Missy.
Yeah, I did. I saw clips of her, so yeah.
Yeah, no, she's absolutely amazing. I love
Mary Poppins.
You see that Moffat done a really good storyline with her for series 10, where she became good. She actually went to go fight alongside the Doctor for once, instead of always fighting against him, until John Sims' Master went and killed her. But we don't really know if she then regenerated into Sasha Dewan's Master, or if Sims goes into Sasha. Either way, Chibnall done what he always does, and he messes up the character development on a lot of things. Faster than Chibnall.
I guess is that me? When am I interviewing the Doctor Who cast on my channel, or is that for you? Because I think I'd get lost interviewing someone, but I can get the details for Michael if he wants them. I did think of Tom Baker, but a couple of things I can talk to him about.
It depends. Obviously, if I were to, I just try and go to a convention and hope that they're there. I've actually never been to a convention. I'm thinking of going to one next year.
Any full stop or any Doctor Who type one?
Well, you see, there's Dublin City Comic Con twice a year. There's the spring one and the August, and then there's the summer one. So it all really just depends on who they get. Like this year, they didn't really have the greatest of guests. I mean, they actually did get Michelle Gomez for the spring edition. I'm still kicking myself that I didn't go to that one because I would have loved to have met her. But I've been hearing a lot of horror stories come out from Dublin City Comic Con, like how things have been mismanaged and stuff and related to cosplayers and that. So that has me second guessing going there. So it may just be a case of I go up to the Comic Con up north, or I travel to one of the UK ones.
Yeah, I guess there's that many cast members. There's always one in a Comic Con somewhere. Just depends on which one you want to see. All right. But I can't think of any that I'd want to speak to that much. But if anyone wants their details, I can pass them on. There's Michelle Gomez. I've got her manager's details and publicist if anyone wants them. So Welshwood was pretty good. Reset was another episode I liked, written by J.C. Wisher, who wrote the great police procedural drama Between the Lines. Okay.
I remember Reset, and it rings the bell.
But yeah. He's not watching the 60th till it's released on physical. They're even doing a steelbook for it. Okay, as long as they are announcing that.
Yeah, you see, I've pre-ordered the Blu-ray on Amazon.
Right.
It's due out on the 11th, but I think there's going to be like a massive backlog because when I pre-ordered it like 2 days ago, I was told it won't be coming until next year, or no, not next year, 2025. And then I got an email today saying that they've changed when to expect it, so I don't know. But the reason why I went for the Blu-ray instead of the Blu-ray Steelbook is I wouldn't want to pre-order it and have terrible artwork on it.
Yeah,
because then that's 30 quid wasted.
I guess they can change it whenever they like. Yeah.
I mean, some of the Steelbook artwork for Doctor Who has been really good. That's why I use it for my thumbnails, for my season reviews. I'll always use the Steelbook artwork, just because a lot of it does look really, really nice.
Okay. Hang on, Michael Mars is saying Warwick Davis. Has he been in an episode?
Yes, he was in Nightmare in Silver, season 7.
Ah.
Yeah.
There you go. I guess.
Because when the Cybermen got another redesign, which didn't stick around for too long, because then it got redesigned again during Chibnall's time. And then it got redesigned even further to be the Cyber Masters, which was dead Time Lords converted into Cybermen that can regenerate. So they're
do they have skeletons in them? Am I imagining something else where one's head comes off and there's a skeleton underneath or a skull? Or am I just thinking of Robocop 2?
No, that was Series 5. The Pandora opens. Where it splits down and then it opens and then there's a skull that falls out.
There we go. I thought that's probably what Robocop 2 reminded me of when I saw that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Robocop 2?
I think for me with Robocop, it's only been I think it was the early 2000s TV show that I remember seeing. I don't think. Yeah, no, I haven't seen the movies. I've only seen the TV show.
Right. Oh, the film has ended with that very obvious Roman army that was giant coming towards them.
Mm-hmm.
But
funny enough, on my end and the VHS, they ended at the exact same time.
Hey, nice. So there we go. Pop quiz, hot shots. You are trapped in a room with 3 exits. One leads to the Daleks, one to the Cybermen, and one to the Weeping Angels. Which exit are you taking?
Daleks. They'll kill me quicker.
I think Daleks, you just push them out of the way, as it showed in this film. They were on wheels, so they get out of the way pretty quick. There's no titles. It's just a few names, and this is the end. But there you go. That's the film. Let's catch up on this chat because I'm behind. Right, let's close that. Get rid of that. But yeah, there we go. Daniel Radcliffe as Doctor Who. I wasn't surprised if his name gets thrown around.
He would be good. But you see, the thing with that is Daniel Radcliffe has been made rich heavily from Harry Potter to the point where he just cherry picks the roles he does now.
Yeah.
So it has to be something you'd be interested in, like an indie film. That's usually where he goes. I mean, there's a film where he just basically played a dead body that farted.
Yes, I haven't seen it, but apparently it's good. But,
yeah. I've seen clips of it, and that's as far as I'll ever go.
Yeah, that's exactly. When I heard that, I thought, no, that's not what I want to see.
Yeah.
Bring all of K9 back. There you go.
I mean, yeah, the last time K9, well, the last time K9 was seen was in Series 4, Journey's End of Journey's End of Series 4. That was the last time he was shown in the main show. But in the Sarah Jane Adventures, I think it was either Series 4 or Series 5. It's been years since I rewatched the Sarah Jane Adventures. And they're kind of hard to track down on physical media.
I bet. Yeah. So I guess it's a time travel show. So yeah, sort of. You can just bring back all the K9s, can't you? Good evening, Giuseppe. Thanks for joining us. It's Western Supermare, Eddie. Western Supermare. More bottom jokes. My favorite K9 is Jerry. Yeah, K9 as in the Jim Belushi film from 1989 called K9. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have.
That's a fun film with a policeman that gets a Alsatian dog as a partner. It's a bit like American Red Dwarf. It was terrible. What was that? Hang on. What was that for?
I think he was talking about Children of Earth. I could be wrong there, Danny.
Okay. What do you think of the Sarah Jane Adventures with Miss Perky Elizabeth Sladen? Some of the stories were well written, but I haven't seen them all. Okay.
I love it. Now, again, like yourself, Dr. Impossible, I haven't seen every episode, but I've seen a lot of it. Like I've seen a good chunk of Series 1, a good chunk of Series 2, a good chunk of Series 3 because that had the wedding of Sarah Jane, which brought the 10th Doctor in after he'd already finished filming for his for the end of time, or whilst they were filming at the same time. I can't remember which. And it was the last time Russell actually ever wrote for the 10th Doctor. And then I seen all of Series 4, I want to say, because again, that's when they brought Matt Smith in, and it was the only time Russell ever wrote for the 11th Doctor. And it was the first time they actually brought back Joe Grant for the first time. For that episode, The Doctor Dies is what it's called. And then I seen all of Series 5 because there was only 5 episodes because she sadly passed away during filming.
That's a shame. What will happen? Think will happen in the special apart from the overrated Doctor? Who's that then?
Well, I think from what I'm hearing is the Toymaker's not really going to show up until the Giggle. I think there'll be like some teases of him in Wild Blue Yonder next week. But the Star Beast, which is the episode that's coming out, I believe that's basically nearly a one-to-one remake of a comic strip by the same name from the 4th Doctor. That was released in the Doctor Who Weekly magazine before it became monthly magazine.
They're running out of material, were they? Yeah. So Professor, who's in South America, I believe, bought Class on DVD because I saw a Doctor Who logo. Oh boy, was not what I expected.
Yeah, now you know why I only watched the first episode and never touched it again.
Hey, it might get good. Tosh is my favorite character. I was unhappy when she died. Hang on. I'm going to reprint my favorite names.
The actress who played Tosh, and even Tosh herself, actually appeared in Series 1 of Doctor Who before Torchwood. And they make mention of that in Series 2 during her death. Spoiler alert. And
before you say
she makes mention of how she covered for Owen that day and met the space pig. It was the episode with the Slitheen, you know, the farting aliens that everyone hates, but I love.
And people get paid to write this, do they? I'm not sure about that, but
It was
Most
Russell who
English
wrote it
people,
himself.
English
That
actors
two
have
parter.
been. Anthony Ainley was in The Machiavellian all over. I loved his sinister smirk and dry delivery. Near perfect master in it. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a bad master. I think he showed up at the end of The Keeper of Traken, and he stuck with it all. He was the longest serving master, I believe, all the way up
Right.
until survival.
Okay. So you meant Warwick Davis would be a good new Doctor Who, but had no idea he's been in it already. Ah, there we go.
Yeah, he played an emperor. I forget. I think it was like something like Emperor Peanut or something like that.
Of course it was.
It was who wrote it? Who wrote it? It wasn't. No, it was Mark. I think it was Mark Gatiss that wrote it.
Oh,
If it was Mark Gatiss, no. Was it him or was it Neil Gaiman? I can't remember which.
Emperor Peanut. Oh, if you were a doctor, where would you go?
Egypt.
Ooh, yeah.
Ancient Egypt.
Dinosaur time. Although it might be a bit risky.
I mean, the Doctor, Peter Capaldi's Doctor, when in the first episode, he done Deep Breath, technically brought the T-Rex into Victorian time because the T-Rex swallowed the TARDIS and got lodged in her throat. And so she came along for the ride and ended up in Victorian time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's strange seeing John Pertwee as Doctor Who. I hear his voice and I only picture Wurzel Gummidge. Yes, I was the same back then. Oh, no, Aunt Sally. Right. Good evening, Gregor. Thanks for joining us. Right, here we go. We first saw Sarah Jane in Doctor Who, right? When they went to the school with the aliens.
That was series 2, episode 3, School Reunion. It had the Krillitang, which is an interesting species, a villain that I'd like to see come back, because in the episode, it's mentioned that the Krillitang, when they conquer a planet, obviously through eating, they tend to take on an attribute that they like from that species. So it'll be interesting to see how they evolved in the nearly 20 years since they've last been in the show.
Yeah, there's probably quite a few ideas I could bring into it. Most emotional favorite regeneration. 2 questions there. I barely remember any of them.
Peter Capaldi. His speech, the theme of Shepherd's Boy playing, giving Jodie the advice, and then his final words of "Doctor, I let you go," and him regenerating, and then as soon as Jodie appears, you see a version of Capaldi's wedding ring fall because Capaldi never took that wedding ring off. That was a part of his costume, and so kind of like when Matt Smith left and he took off the bow tie, that was kind of that version of it.
Yeah. That's sweet. How come the TARDIS can't travel different dimensions? It would make the show interesting. Don't bring a bloody multiverse into it, I think.
I mean, they technically tried in Flux. The Doctor isn't from our universe. The Doctor's from an alternate universe. Fucking Chibnall, he ruins everything.
Bob McCall met John Pertwee as Wurzel when he was touring the UK in 1982. I have a photo with me and my sister. Oh, that's nice.
Is that him dressed up kind of like a scarecrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it, and I actually came across the DVD of it in a charity shop once, and I passed on it because I never grew up with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. I couldn't watch it now because I probably hate it. I think I got some VHS, but I find it probably very annoying now. But I loved it when it came out. Peter's regeneration was good. Smith is another favourite because we got to see Amy Pond again. Any excuse to see Amy Pond.
Fun fact about that regeneration: both Karen Gillan and Matt Smith were in wigs because Karen Gillan was off filming for Guardians at the
Yeah, I
time,
guess you have to shave your head.
and Smith was off filming for Terminator.
That was worth it for him because he has, what, 2 minutes
Yeah.
at most of screen time in a whole film, and he was supposed to be this big character in it.
And I'll get to that next year because I have did my Terminator 3 review come out? No, it hasn't. I think that's Monday, where my Terminator 3 Friday. Friday is my Terminator 3 review. And afterwards, after I watched it, I was like, you know what? There's only like 3 other movies left in this franchise. I may as well finish them and watch them eventually.
Yeah, 3 movies, nothing.
Yeah.
Have you seen the 1987 BBC sci-fi show called Star Cops? That rings a bell. I think I might have seen 1 episode of that when it was out.
Yeah, see, Dr. Impossible, you're forgetting something here. 1998, 1968. Huge difference.
No. It's probably on the internet somewhere. Make Doctor Strange the next Doctor.
I think
the character Doctor Strange plays them.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch auditioned for Doctor Who to be the new Doctor Who, and Matt Smith auditioned to be Sherlock.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
they're interchangeable characters, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Both. All right. The second Doctor regeneration was good. He didn't want to go either. Is that?
Yes, that was the first forced regeneration. Technically, if you like the Series 6B theory, where the the CIA of the Time Lord Society nabbed him just prior to regeneration, nabbed back Jamie, gave him back his memories, and had the Doctor do a bunch of missions for them before making him regenerate into Pertwee.
There we go. That's the last step. So yes, let's wrap this up. So thanks to Michael for joining me. I learned a lot of stuff tonight that I never knew existed.
Thank you very much for having me on. As always, it's been a blast.
No worries. Right. So what's your next video out?
I think I'm going to be recording one tomorrow, and it'll come out tomorrow. If not, it'll be Friday, and I think that will be my Terminator 3 review.
Okay, there we go. I am watching Blood Rage tomorrow night on my own, so we'll see what happens with that. So thanks all, and as Bob McCall says, good night all. So thanks for everyone that watched. Thanks for Michael for joining me. I'll just say cheers to Dr. Impossible, and then goodbye, Professor Macabre. Almost upsetting by reducing him to a mere doctor. Right. Thank you. Good night, everyone.